Okay, hi guys. There, just gonna give you a quick update today. 17th December 2012. Just gonna give you a quick update on Christmas, but also heavy rainfall and the January outlook as well. So yeah, Kasim Awan here. As ever, you can use the site there. Just log on to YouTube or go onto YouTube as a non-login user, and then you can just use the site here. You can go onto Kasim Awan channel, and you can watch the videos and take in what you want from that. Click on the videos there, and that'll bring you up to your latest up-to-date video. Now, I was also just want to go back to the site there. And you can comment on the site as well. You can give your suggestions in at the comments page. Let's just wait for that to load up a bit dodgy Wi-Fi there. Go into the comments section there, and you can give your comments in there. You are free to do that to give your words of advice there, some words of wisdom, especially now as we're coming up to Christmas. That is great, and I hope you can do that. Thanks very much, and Merry Christmas for those of you that are celebrating Christmas today. I do hope you enjoy it when it comes to the big day. Right, first thing to mention then is heavy rainfall. Quite a lot of heavy rainfall actually here. Just look at the paper now, sorry about that. Let's get rid of that there for you there. So quite a lot of heavy rainfall in the United Kingdom. Just explain why we are getting the heavy rainfall. Let's just get the right one back up there. Just letting you know why we have got the heavy rainfall. Basically, we've got a blocking area of high pressure out to the east of the country there. We're just giving it this easterly flow, and we've got an area of low pressure out to the west here of the United Kingdom. This is giving a mild southwesterly feed. Now, these two feeds meet here in the United Kingdom, well, we could get a lot of convection going, a lot of heavy rainfall there going. So, quite a lot of heavy rainfall actually. Most of it is going to come in across these central areas of the United Kingdom, particularly I think for western parts of England and Wales, running up through Wales, southwest England, areas that are unfortunately prone to rainfall in the last few days. And I think northern England could get a good hit as well as Northern Ireland. So unfortunately, we will be seeing a lot of rainfall, and it's such an unfortunate time in the run up to Christmas. So heavy rainfall, I think, is going to have two shots of it. One's going to be on Thursday, so the Thursday shot really. This one's going to be probably the worst hit, with lots of heavy rain coming up in this sort of area here. So western parts of England, West Country, South West England, Devon, Cornwall, particularly the hills of Devon and Cornwall, particularly the hills of Wales, and particularly I think parts of North West England and the West Country here could see a lot of heavy rainfall. But areas like the East Midlands and North East England and North England definitely not prone to that heavy rainfall, and even parts of Northern Ireland here could see in excess of 30 millimetres, just over an inch of rain there. For many parts actually on Thursday could see that total coming up. So an absolute deluge I think this week. Heavy rainfall on Thursday, but also a second shot on the weekend. So just put a W for weekend for you there. The weekend I think going to see another hit of heavy rain. This time I think is going to be more towards the east of the country. That's probably a bit too far east. I think this time's going to be more towards probably more the east of the country, more southern areas. So really a widespread heavy rainfall pattern here. This is rainfall totals above 30 millimetres. So really a deluge here. In some places could see 50 millimetres of rainfall. So places like the hills of Wales here could see around 50 millimetres of rainfall. So do watch out for that rainfall as we go through that period. Now another thing to mention as well is the fog. Don't know whether you can hear some people streaming in the background. Just ignore them. Another thing is going to be the fog. Overnight fog tonight for the 17th is going to be quite widespread across many areas. I think the fog most likely, I think, in western parts here, quite a lot of fog. We could see a lot of heavy rain today as winds fall light in that area of low pressure. I think we could see a lot of fog, particularly so across northern parts of Scotland here and northwest England as well, along with the Welsh Marches. Could see some dense fog tomorrow morning, so beware of that as well. Could affect your travelling tomorrow morning. And I think as well, as temperatures fall in the clear skies, we could see a lot of frost developing here across northern parts of Scotland and through the hills northern, the rural parts of Northern Ireland as well. The rural areas here could see a shallow frost tomorrow morning. But the main problem I think is not going to be frost, it's going to be the ice forming, particularly in this region here and through to here as well. And possibly as well the hills northern England could start off quite icy tomorrow morning. Now we did have a lot of rainfall, especially through parts of northwest England. We did see a really heavy rainfall coming in here overnight through the last few hours, and that's brought here in a really quite a deluge. We had 10 millimetres of rain in around 3 hours. Actually, no, 14 millimetres of rain in 3 hours. So yeah, quite a lot of rain there. You know, quite a few millimetres an hour there. So for average, so it's quite a deluge in northwestern parts of England. I know my station here in Cheshire is not really the worst affected. The worst affected parts were actually to the north of Manchester. So if we just zoom in for you there, the worst affected parts were really in this sort of region here through North Manchester here. We did see a lot of rainfall here, and that rain is diving further south westwards now, but as it does so, it's becoming lighter. But we could see some heavy rain developing overnight in this sort of region here as we go through towards the morning. Probably more confined to the eastern parts here. Could see a bit of rain tomorrow morning. We have to keep an eye out for that there. Brought you out too far back there, didn't I? Brought you out too far back. Let's get rid of that there. Right. So the next thing is the well, the long range forecast really. We are seeing this area of high pressure and low pressure out to the west now. I do think this low pressure is going to start to track eastwards over the next coming days. Over the next coming weeks. So this area of low pressure here is going to track eastwards, but ever as it does so, it's having a hard time coming against this old nut there, this old cracker nut across the western parts of this hard nut here coming on the western parts of Europe. So it's really having a hard time, this area of low pressure here, coming against this area of high pressure over to the high heights here, over to the western parts of Europe. And this is quite extensive right through back into Scandinavia and Siberia. So really extensive area of high pressure. It's having a hard time coming up against it, and therefore we're getting a lot of rainfall. But this area of low pressure is going to start to track its way eastwards. I think a real battleground setting up across many parts of the United Kingdom there, a real battleground setting up there across many parts of the UK for territory with these two, this low pressure and this high pressure there, a real battleground setting up across many parts of England. That battleground likely to be across many parts of Western England, Wales here, and that's where we're likely to see the heavy rain. Of course, in winter it doesn't take much to put this high pressure flow out into the east and into the southeast and bring the winds off the continent, so parts of Germany, Belgium, France. If the winds come off that sort of area here, so if the winds come off this sort of area here, then that's just a very quick line there for the northern parts of northwest Europe. If the flow does come off this area of high pressure like so, well then it doesn't take much to turn that rain into snow. And actually, there's quite a lot of snow events in the United Kingdom happening like that. You remember the snow event in February this year was like this sort of battleground scenario. So very interesting there for you. Now Christmas Day forecast, something else that's quite topical, especially this time of year. I do think, and I've been saying this for a week or so now, temperatures are going to be around average, right, for the time of year, average temperatures, right? And rainfall probably going to be above average for many areas on the big day. Let's go back to the more close view there. Temperatures, I think, for the United Kingdom on Christmas Day are going to be around average, alright? So temperatures probably hanging around average for the time of year. Sorry about a green Christmas this year, apart from the hills of northern Scotland here. The hills of northern Scotland are the best chance to get some snow, and also the North Pennines. So if you are looking for snow on Christmas Day, if you're really that desperate, it probably is worth going up to the hills of northern Scotland, northern England. But unfortunately, it's unlikely that you'll have snow at your house unless you are in the campgrounds or in the North Pennines, which is probably unlikely. I don't think there's any house in the Scaffold Park is there now. That would be quite silly, but there are houses up there, so there are people living up there, you know. So do be aware of that. Now, I think they're starting to save it. I don't know why it's not right. We're not responding again. Right, we're not responding. We're going back. Right. I'm gonna have to quit this view now and no, cancel. Don't want to save it. Right. So yeah, I think temperatures are hanging around average with the big day, and as we go through the big day and we go into Boxing Day, so we're going to 26 there. We're going to Boxing Day. Right, so 26. This area of low pressure started to track eastwards. This high pressure retreating out back into the continent. So this area of low pressure tracking eastwards, probably bringing around a northwesterly flow. Now this northwesterly flow could present itself in terms of wintry showers in this region here. Alright, wintry showers. And as the low pressure tracks eastwards, I don't think it'll make that much progress eastwards, but it won't take much to bring this low pressure further out eastwards and give us a northwesterly flow, which I think is probably quite feasible now. But I don't think there's much chance of this straight northerly, which the models were predicting yesterday or the day before. I don't think there's much chance of it now. I think now we're going to see a northwesterly flow. This could still be quite wintry through Boxing Day and through to the no man's land, through to the 27th, 28th, and that sort of period there. We could see some snow developing across northern areas. I wouldn't rule it out, you know. I'd say at the moment still for this no man's land period there's 60% chance of it being quite cold in northwesterly feed, but again there's 40% chance here of it being quite a mild with southwest with more westerly flow. This 60% here is really now gone up. This has been turned around really. So 60% chance of it being a northwesterly flow. Right, it's northwesterly, bringing in wintry showers, feeding them in across western areas. I think now if this happens, probably mainly across the high ground, so on the Pennines, but this snow level could come down to 200 metres, you know, 200 metres it could come down to. So if it does come down to that, well then that could be a snowfall event in the United Kingdom, but we do have to bring it down to 100 metres to bring lower level snow in the UK. So it's all very marginal, especially with this type of conditions. It's very hard to forecast snow unless you've got that bitter easterly coming across many areas, which we haven't had yet in this winter. But we had a hint of it really, but it's been very weak in the start of December. And just for another thing to mention as well is the NAO. The NAO is dipping down, but it has started to dip up, and it is what drives weather. I do think that we're going to go slightly negative through, or at least neutral through towards the new year. So that's probably what's going to drive our drive the sort of conditions in it as well. So the weather conditions are driving that. Another thing to mention was the CFS model is seeing the sort of cool down period in January. So temperatures at the moment are around average. They started off in December quite low. They're picking up to around average, and then Christmas period we're just wobbling around this sort of average. So this is average right here. This is average. At the moment we're slightly above average, and then we're going to dip down towards Christmas period around average, and then we're going to linger down just a few degrees below average here, through towards that no man's land, and then picking up I think after the new year. But then I think we're going to go down to slightly below average levels, and then we're going to pick off down towards here, so down to around 2 or 3 degrees below average. I think that's what the temperature profile is going to make. So that's the start of December. That's around Christmas there. That's around the new year, and this is the start of January, and that around here is the start of February. I can't put too much finger on this here. I can't lay too much on here. But that is taking all the malls together, all the current stuff that's going on, everything that's going on at the moment. That is probably my most feasible forecast. So it has been cold through December, pick up towards average or just above average now, diving though below average through the new year, but temps probably not that below average, picking up towards the start of January, and then maintaining them slightly below average through the start of January, and then dipping them down again through the middle of January, and potentially a colder spell coming in here with northeasterly flows across many parts of the UK. So we do have to watch out for this. These possibilities are coming through, and the Christmas period is looking quite interesting. And as I say, there is still around a 15% chance of that northerly flow coming in across many parts on the big day and taking in snow showers, actually widespread snow showers, particularly here and ever especially here. But no, this is actually quite unlikely now as we've gone through the days. This is actually quite unlikely. Probably more of a northwesterly free. Temperatures around average for the time of year, and some wintry showers on high ground, but this is more likely rain on lower levels through the big day, and then turning cooler through the no man's land, and probably going to stay that way through to the year, although picking up again and then dipping down in January. So thanks for watching. Merry Christmas. See you later. If you have any comments, complaints, or anything, just remind you can go on to Kasim Awan channel. You can comment on there and leave your message, leave your motto on there. But you can always get me as well. You can always almost get me on Facebook and Twitter as well. So do start to get me on that. We are starting to go a little bit there. Hopefully we will go further through Christmas period. As ever, thanks very much for watching. It's your support really that keeps the site going, keeps me motivated. People that ask me questions, that's what keeps the motivation going for the site. Nothing to do with money at all. Don't do anything to do with money. It's just a complete hobby fan site. No, it's not a hobby fan site. It's a amateur independent forecaster site. So yeah, do keep your hats on, and do keep up to date with the forecast here. You can always go onto the weather channel there. Thanks a lot for watching. That's a bit of a silly one. We are coming up to Christmas. Hopefully it'll be better than this Christmas forecast. Thanks very much. Bye.